Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review, episode number 102. This time I'm covering the 891st episode of the anime, Climbing the Waterfall, a great journey through the Wano country's sea zone, and the 947 episode of 47 chapter manga, Queen's Gamble. This episode, covers pages 2 through 14 of chapter 910. Yeah, but a lot of people thought though that this one basically would pick up right where last week's episode. Nope. This one is basically featuring the Sanji retrieval team, which consisted of Luffy, Sanji of course, Nami, Carrot, Chopper, and Brook. The whole episode's focused on them. And this is generally the first time in a while that is. And here's the thing: Luffy and the crew, what was featured in the previous episodes before this one, like not in last week's episode, basically was like flashback stuff. And this is probably, believe it or not, the first time in probably almost 12 episodes, we have an episode and we have no stock footage. Yes, finally, first time in a while. I mean, this is the first time since like the end of Whole Cake that we've had no stock footage at all for an episode, which that is something. Because I'm sure for a lot of people it's been a slight bit of a problem, but usually there's a reason for the stock footage. Yes, there generally is a reason for it. The Reverie arc, like half the episode's runtime was taken via stock footage. There's not much for original content they could do. This episode starts off with the Straw Hat crew basically just doing repairs on the ship. Of course, Nami, receiving the daily newspaper she buys every day. And she appears with the Reverie, of course, to see Vivi and a lot of people. Like, it was like Vivi, Sai, Viola, Warpole, Duncan, which Luffy refers to as Acorn Pops, which I don't think he refers to them as a dub. I don't remember what he referred to them as a dub, but I don't think he referred to them as that in the dub. I know he refers to Iceberg as Ice Pops. Oh yeah, and also Chopper gets basically teary-eyed by seeing one of his mentors. Basically his surrogate mother. Which referred to as Doctrine. Yep. So he cuts it out, and of course Nami's like, give me back that stuff, and of course I mentioned stuff about Kaido and Big Mom. This whole opening bit is so good, and plus, they also have a transponders now, where they have to basically, well, of course, Brook. I just point out, Brook is wearing a completely different outfit he's been wearing lately. Yeah, he's back wearing his top hat again. Yeah, for some reason, he's had to put that back on, despite the fact he hasn't worn that top hat, not since before the time skip. But yeah, he's kind of almost gone back to his pre-time skip look, but at least he's actually wearing a shirt this time. Yeah. But it's a very similar look. And they figured that they wait to get to the edge of Wano to contact Kaiman. Nope. They don't. The Luffy just like, can't get in contact him. Let's just go straight to Wano. So they go there and they basically, and while they're just about to enter Wano, an octopus, yes, a octopus crawls up the side of the ship and just stays on board. It has like this wrap on its head. It looks like black, and it gets on board. It's pink. I'm like, what the heck is this? And like, apparently he just bops his head with his arm instead of touching any of the crew. And it takes him a while to notice that there's an octopus until Luffy probably sees the octopus, doesn't say anything about it, and eventually calls upon these carp, and they go on up this river. I think you're in the ocean, but it was like, and of course, Sanji points out that carp are freshwater fish, and these fish are abnormally huge. I've never tried carp, so yeah. So they go up this rushing river, and we see a waterfall. And I kept hoping that Luffy or Sanji or Nami might have brought this up. That here's the thing: before. Now, Luffy, Nami, and Sanji, when they're on the Going Merry, they actually entered the Grand Line via a waterfall. And yet, in this episode, they don't mention it. I mean, seriously. Not even I get maybe Luffy, man. I mean, he may have forgotten about it. But I would think that Sanji will remember because he was freaking there. So was Nami. But does anybody bring it up? Nope. So yeah. Oh, and of course, also when Brooks sees a picture of Evie, it's the first time he's ever seen a picture of her. I mean, apparently they mentioned him to her like many times, and this is a funny bit before they get to the waterfall, and he's like he's either like Vivi, and what does Nami do? Because apparently he's blocking her view. She proceeds to beat the living crap out of him, and she basically bops him in the head. And then Brooks like, I wonder if somebody see her panties. And then he gets popped in the head too, which is so funny. Yeah. I'm surprised she never hits Chopper as far as I know. Yeah, Chopper has never been hit the whole series. I mean, I get the oh yeah, and Luffy does get hit by Nami. Somehow, some way. Also, and this was really weird. Okay, so Luffy basically using these carp to get this waterfall, and again to get close to this whirlpool. And Luffy doesn't want to go to these carp, so Nami has to somehow this is a ability apparently she has. She can run like she's basically one of the government agents and just run really fast to get up to where Luffy is and bop him in the head. Which, yeah, even Luffy tends to question like, how in the world do her punches hit him? Because normally a punch doesn't hit him, it doesn't work on him at all, and yet whenever Nami hits him, it hurts. Everybody else hits him, it doesn't hurt at all, which is kind of weird. And of course, here's Nami grabbing Luffy by the hair. And Luffy's like, oh yeah, now he finally notices that there's a freaking whirlpool. And then the episode ends with the Straw Hat ship going into the whirlpool and Luffy falling in. But don't worry, he's going to survive because basically he ends up in the shore next episode. That's what it looks like. But it looks like next episode, looks like it's covering like a lot. Like, it's covering like the rest of the chapter, skip stuff that from chapter 9, the rest of the chapter for this episode, and probably going to go through, probably go through like 9/11, maybe like 9/12. Probably a lot they're gonna cover. That's what it looks like for the images I saw. They're gonna cover like a good lot of stuff for next week's episode. Yeah. Also, this is the last episode to use the opening theme of superpowers. Yes, it has not been used for very long. I would say this is probably the shortest one I've seen so far for the series. Yeah, this was used first episode. Used was episode 856, and it would stop with this very episode. So, yeah, only 36 episodes. Didn't know this is basically what was used as the opening for very long. Nope. And now next week's theme is going to be Over the Top, which is going to start with next week's episode. But who knows how long this one's going to last for. But yeah, this was an absolute fun episode to watch. Now to talk about the newest chapter of the manga. Called Queen's Gamble. First, you have a cover story of Brooke basically directing a orchestra of seagulls on top of the Sunny. And the chapter starts off with, looks like it's a flashback to Sabaody with the Straw Hat crew at the slave auction house, and we see how Silver Ray basically was able to get the collar off of the mermaid's neck. I don't remember her name. It's been a while since I've seen. It's been a while since I've seen this particular arc. And Luffy basically uses the same thing basically to use his hockey, and he goes against Big Mom. And somehow he's able to block her move. And apparently Chopper's like very happy to see him. And of course the other one's like, Luffy Toro. Like, apparently Luffy's fine. He's like, my bad, Gramps. I messed up. Don't die on me. Gramps. Yep. Imagine getting something to this. So, Luffy basically punched some rocks. And he's able to basically kind of take on Big Mom. By the way, Queen himself, he is knocked out. Yeah, he gets knocked out halfway through this chapter. Here's Queen with the warden. Apparently, Luffy, of course, everybody's running away from Big Mom and her rampage. And then, of course, we have this monster face up against him. And then something weird happens. She gets bopped in the head, and somehow she basically is cured of her amnesia. Yeah, she is cured of amnesia. She hasn't paid the main chapters. I guess the amnesia didn't last very long. Oh, your queen, Kyle's lacking queen, wasn't it? And he's like, no way, she remembers. Yep. Yeah, and of course, Queen's like, bring the 100% seize their handcuffs and chains, wrap their her in 100 times, and inject her with a dose of beast tranquilizer. Roger, what about the ship? It's ready. And of course, they have Queen's ship just pop out of nowhere. Apparently, it was kept in this mountain. And Luffy's like, okay. He's like, got the collar off. He says, means I can go wild. Well, and Balloon gone. I really don't have anyone to fight. Alright, he was just freed. Luffy's like, I've been free for a minute. I'll be taking Udon now. Yeah, what a fantastic chapter. Love it. I mean, it's great that the fact that we kind of ended the whole thing of Big Mom having amnesia. So it looks like that, yeah, we're going to see Luffy leave this place as soon as he can. He's been at this prison now for a good, I think about almost 20 chapters he's been here since the end of the first part of the Wano arc. Yeah, he's been here since like chapter I think it was like 9. He's been here for like quite a while since the end of like part 1 of this particular arc. And now we're actually at this point. This arc has been going as this chapter roughly for almost 40 chapters. Yes, it's been going on for 38 chapters. And only now in the anime we finally get a chance to see some adaptation of this arc. I would say bits and pieces of this arc has been adapted so far. I mean, right now, anyways, in the anime, I mean, you got like part of chapter 909, and you have like most of chapter 910. So, yeah. So it looks like the next week we're gonna finish up 909. We're definitely we're gonna go through the rest of 909. We're gonna finish up 910, and probably gonna start 911. So we're gonna go back to that format of doing like finish up stuff we skipped over before and previous stuff, and basically putting in like one episode. Yeah, that's what it looks like it's going to be for next week's episode. It looks like I have a lot. Yeah, that's what I figured out for this next one. Yep, we're going to go back to that thing of finish up this half one episode and just put the other half back in or something like that. Yeah. So, that's it for this particular review. I've got a few more videos to do today. My next video I'm going to do is return of my movie reviews. Yep. What movie series I'm going to review? You'll find out in that video, okay? But you see you there. Bye.